Hello everyone, I am the Steam Bin Diver and today we're gonna be looking at Fiendrise. This is a 2D action bullet hell roguelike game, which again is similar to Vampire Survivors. And the game has no recognition on Steam currently. It has, I believe, 2 or 3 user reviews and basically no one is playing it. So as per usual, today we're gonna see whether the game actually is just gotten lucky and deserves more recognition, or if it's just a complete piece of garbage, like for instance the one we played last time. So, unlike Vampire Survivors, I'm gonna boost this here. Unlike Vampire Survivors, this game should have kind of like a specific, I guess, mechanic where you yourself actually fight. So if you've noticed, I have a QWER, similar to kind of like maybe some MOBA games, which represent my abilities. If, as you know, if you played Vampire Survivors, in that game you had no abilities, you just had weapons you collect, and they kind of automatically fight for you. While in this game, I actually move with the arrow keys, so I fight with the QWER button, so I actually have active abilities which I can use. This already seems, I don't know how innovative, considering that games have been doing this for quite a while, like League of Legends, for instance, Dota. Like these games have existed for like tens of years at this point. I think like more than 10 years. But this, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, or at least for me, it's the first one I've seen, is the first Vampire Survivors like game which features this mechanic. So we're gonna hop right in and see whether it is worth our time. From what I read, or like rather saw in the opening message of the level, I need to find the exit on each stage. So the game is kind of like stage based, and I have to go and find the exit. I don't really have, like, at least for the first levels, from what I see, like a quota for how many. Or never mind, I was gonna say I don't have a quota for how many enemies I have to kill, but that seems to be incorrect. I actually have to beat the powerful foe, which I assume is like the mini boss of the stage. Yes, I don't know if you have seen any of my other videos. Some of the games I've been playing recently, well, have been quite bad. And I mean, it is expected, considering that the entire point of this channel is to find unpopular games and see if they're really just bad or underrated. It seems most of them are just straight up bad. It's very rare that a game actually just got really unlucky. You usually can kind of see why... Oh, I got attacked. You usually can kind of see why these games get no recognition, just even in the first 5 minutes of playing. So I'm really, like, I'm hoping for something here. Like, at this point, I'm starting to kind of even lose hope that any of these games will end up good. But we'll see. This one, so far, shows promise. Boost power by 2, introduces skilled cooldown, boost max HP and attack. Not sure what power does, I have to be honest, but I mean, cooldown reduction. Or rather, what power does compared to attack, because I would assume it's just damage, but maybe it's like it governs different things? I don't know. This game had multiple characters, by the way. I had 3 of them unlocked, and I think around 9 which were locked. I assume behind like some form of progression. So I just picked the first one. I just picked like the most basic character, as I know nothing about the game anyway. And even though I didn't really carefully read the abilities, I must admit to you, it does seem that it's quite intuitive. My Q seems to be this like beam attack, which just does damage in front of me and has like no AoE. The E is like a dash, which does 3 explosions while dashing, and my R just creates like kind of like these copies of myself, I guess, which just lob like projectiles at the enemies. They seem really good. They seem like by far my strongest ability currently, but it also has the most cooldown. So yeah, so far, actually, doesn't feel that bad. Outside the fact that the movement is with the arrow keys, which I'm personally not a very big fan of. Maybe just because my laptop that I'm playing on has these bad arrow keys for the up and down are... Wait, is this new abilities? Or are these just passives? Poison Zone. These are new abilities. Okay, that's good. You might think that I am over-exaggerating a reaction, but like honestly, considering how bad some of these games have been, like I've played like 3 or 4, I think 3 games similar to this one already, which had no abilities, like just the starting thing you start, like the starting weapon you begin with, and that's it, like nothing else. The fact that I am actually seeing like some form of real like roguelike aspects, like I'm baffled. I was starting to lose hope that I will ever see like a game developer actually make the game in a somewhat exciting fashion, but so far, really, yeah, I'm saying this for the 10th time, but I am actually kind of excited about this one. Like this might be the one. Like I really hope it keeps going with this tempo it just got on me, because, well, in the Trash and Treasure series so far we've got many a trash and very little treasure. So if we can finally find a game that I can actually like and recommend, like I would feel less like a scammer, you know. It's like otherwise it's just video number 10 of bad game, which will not be worth your time. I actually was starting to feel bad even. And then you might say, well, I mean, then why don't you just then test the games prior and see if they're good and just not record them if they're bad? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's not the point, right? They have to be, like, I've expressed this before. I don't know if you've watched any of my previous videos, but I've expressed this before. I really like going into these... Oh, something hit me here, I think the statue. I really like going into these blind, because it kind of like... It simulates the experience of a random person who just has nothing to play and is scrolling Steam. And just sees a game. Wait, you need to go down here. And just sees like a game which looks okay for like a few euros. Like this game costs, I believe, 4 euros or 3 euros something, around that point, around that mark. You just see this price and you're like, like I'll just try it, you know. And then you're not gonna like make the time to start looking, or this, I mean, at least I don't do that. I don't know if any of you do. Radius and poison base damage. I honestly, even though shoots homing spikes reduce damage enemies, homing spikes sounds really good, but the poison zone I think is cracked. I'm going for poison zone. It's AoE. It does very good damage, at least compared to my abilities. I mean, I don't know if you've played Vampire Survivors. You probably have. If you're watching this video, like if YouTube somehow brought you here, then you probably have, or most definitely have, at least seen Vampire Survivors. And this item is basically garlic from that game. And garlic was based. I don't know. I know there are a few camps of people here that might really, like, even zealously agree with me on this or disagree with me. Garlic was based. The character that started with garlic, not so much, but the item itself was absolutely based. Let's see. Yeah, here's the boss. I'm not sure if it's better to full clear the areas or just rush the exit. Like, I'm not sure how the difficulty of this game scales, because in some games, roguelikes, for instance, I don't know if you've played Risk of Rain 1 or 2. Both of them work like this. They have a timer similar to this game, where the more time you spend within the game, the harder the game becomes. So it's kind of like a race against the clock. You are encouraged to go really quickly, sometimes even missing out on items on the level and stuff like that, because otherwise the game will just exponentially outscale you. I'll keep going for power here because I like to do big damage. And I think this works. Yes, it works with the poison. I just picked up power and my damage went up by like 5 points. So power is good. I don't know what attack does. I should test that as well. But... oh, wait. Did I get a second laser? I think I just got a second laser. That would be quite rad. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Stolen Blade. Attacks with 3 melee swift cuts. This is melee. I think so. So probably different items have different descriptors that make them scale with different things. Shoots 3 bullets to the nearest enemy. That's magic wand. power plus cooldown reduction. Does cooldown reduction work with poison? I'm not sure. Let's try the veggie gun. Having like an item that keeps enemies that are running me down away is good. Yes, I did get a second laser. It's not just a visual thing. It actually does damage. Great. So I guess maybe I got a sufficient level of upgrades. It says mutations, 2 out of 6 on the top left corner, which I assume might be my item slots. Probably. Because I just got the second item and it went to 2 out of 6. Whereas with only the poison, it was 1 out of 6. In other games, roguelike, similar to, I don't know, Dead Cells, for instance, immediately comes to mind when I think of this. There, even though, again, the game has somewhat of an incentive for you to play fast with, like, these doors. I don't know if you played that game where they only unlock if you go to them in a specific time limit. And yeah, they give you good items and, like, scrolls, which are, like, the main source of power in that game. It's still missing out on stuff on the stages themselves is never worth it. So you always wanted to, in that game, go and collect basically everything that like, or all of the useful items, I guess, not everything. Like, there were things that you weren't really that incentivized to go after, but you always wanted to collect all the scrolls in that game. Otherwise you would get a really tough time later on. Oh, I think I leveled up. Yes, celerity. I don't know what celerity does. I'm not sure if there is a way to check that. If I click here, no. Well, then we go... Let's see what attack does. Does my poison damage raise with attack? Not sure. I don't think it did. Let's see. Or it did massively? Huh, it's difficult to tell. I think it did, but I'm not sure if it did because I leveled up or because I got attack. It definitely went up though, so attack did something. But I don't know how this works. Maybe there was a tutorial at some point in the menu. I did not see it. That's on me probably. But yeah, I think this game functions more similarly to Risk of Rain, because I do see there is a diff 12, which I assume means difficult 12. Let me just clear this pack of mobs because I want to get the XP quickly. Even though I literally am contradicting myself, I need to go. Oh no, wait, there are a bizarre trio. There are more than one monsters here. Okay, I'm trolling. I need to beat that elite over there as well. But there is difficulty 13, which just went up when I hit 12th minute, I believe. So I think the difficulties are raising every minute. So it does function somewhat like Risk of Rain, it seems. Boost power and attack. Okay, then whatever I get. This, I assume, just does extra damage with everything. Its power is probably like ability damage. And attack is probably like... attack damage. I don't know. So far, really positively surprised. Some of the other games that I've played recently especially were complete tedium. Like, I was genuinely losing my mind while recording. Like, it was... I mean, to be fair, recording these videos is always kind of fun. That's why I'm doing them after all. I get like 20 views on average. But just the process of recording is always fun. But the games themselves, I like... imagining myself play them not for recording purposes, but like just for myself. That's what I'm testing them for after all. Was like, it was a scary thought. Like, some of these games genuinely, like, soul crushingly bad. I'll go for more power. More damage equals more good. Like, this one's actually fine. Like, if it also has like 12 characters to test and like play around with, I can... That's maybe the first or second game. Actually, no, that's not fair. It's more like the third, because I have had some decent games on this channel. Specifically, funny enough, some of the first ones I played, but... like, this is one of the few games I play on this channel which I'm like, I can genuinely see myself playing this on my own. And I mean, the art style looks really underwhelming. I mean, kind of reminds me of what? I don't know if you've played RimWorld. somewhat reminds me of RimWorld. It's not really a roguelike game. Like, it's a completely different genre. It's more like a survival, like, colony builder simulator, I guess is the best way to describe it. I don't know if you've played it, but do I want attack or reroll? Attack, of course. Rerolls are for cowardly people. Oh, desert, new area. Okay. Wait, the veggie gun is also poisoning. Ah, that's why I got confused sometimes. Why is my poison doing so much damage? Because also the veggie gun is shooting at them. Okay, okay. So I am like going full poison build. Unintentionally, I just went full poison build. Subconsciously, I saw the green items and I was like, just go for poison. I don't think this is the poison character, but because there was literally like a green character from one of the 3 starting options. So that was more likely to be a poison character than this one, but if it works, it works, to be quite honest. I don't want any of these. Just said reroll is stupid, but okay, okay, Poison Zone. We like Poison Zone. Poison Zone is incredible so far. Yeah, this is a game which I can definitely see myself playing. And yeah, the art styles. What? It's if you are into niche indie games, which is likely who you are, because I assume this is to whom the YouTube algorithm will be promoting these. I don't know how YouTube decides who should be watching my videos, but like, if you are here or even click this, you are likely of this niche, then I don't think that the bad, like, it's not even bad, like the overly simplified, I guess, art style will be a problem for you. I personally love this. Like, I love pixelated, kind of like these clunky art styles. Some of my favorite games, Terraria, basically pixelated art style. Ancient Sentinel, yeah, I need to find the boss. Also, another game which I have like an embarrassing amount of hours, Heroes of Hammerwatch, the first one, the second one was so another game with like really simple art style. I personally like really love this art style. I don't know how you feel about it. You can feel free to let me know in the comments, but yeah, the gameplay, like, genuinely interesting. I don't know. I hope that they put evolutions or like some form of weapon like combination or like upgrading system in this game, because I see some of my weapons are evolving as I am leveling up. So I suspect, because for instance, if you remember the R ability, so like the clone creator was only making 3 clones, now he's making 4. The laser got this rotating beam. So they do seem to be evolving with me, basically. Rashing spikes. Let's try it. Like, at this point, might as well. The weapons do seem to be evolving with me, which I am not sure if this is true for all of them. Like, will the poison aura evolve with my level as well, or do I have to find some other item that it will evolve with, similar to, for instance, Vampire Survivors? Sentinel. Was that the thing I had to beat? I think this was the thing I had to beat, if I remember correctly. I'm collecting just these chests around here because they give a lot of XP. The poisons, the spike thingies don't look that good. They seem to be more single targets, because I don't think they pierce. Which in these games, single target is usually not that good. I don't know what celerity does, honestly. Maybe it's like cooldown reduction or something. I'm gonna be quite honest, I don't even know what celerity means, like, in the English language. I'm gonna go for speed though, because I'm getting a bit slow. I don't even know what celerity, like, generally means. I've heard this word, I don't know what it means. I'm not a native English speaker. You have probably deduced this by now a million times because of my accent and the fact that I get certain words wrong, probably sometimes. Like, I use words wrong, which might be embarrassing. If your goal is to learn English from my YouTube channel, which funny enough is how I learned English, do not do that from here. You will speak wrong, most likely. But if you already know English and would like to laugh at mine, then you are perfectly welcome to do so. I am quite self-conscious about my language abilities, or rather inabilities. Never been the most talented with languages, but yeah, I think I beat the Sentinel. Let's proceed to the next area. Did I? Wait, what's happening? Why am I? I need to beat this thing, I guess, as well, maybe?
Yeah, I see.
Luckily, the single target ability, which I was shit-talking just 2 seconds ago, is actually carrying me quite hard. Laser, oh, I'm almost dead. Careful here. Or this run will be over quite soon. I don't know if I want to do 1 or 2 runs today. Generally, from what I've seen from my like YouTube analytics, like 30-ish minute videos work much better than 1 hour videos, at least from my channel. And this might actually be a bit weird to say if you actually go and look at my videos. My by far most viewed one was 1 hour, my first video. But don't be swayed. Most of these views are friends and family, of course, as you would expect. Me telling people I know, yeah, I think, yeah, that was the enemy to beat. I'm gonna go, ooh, 5 attack, but how much HP do I get? 25, that's not much. 5,000 cost, not even a lot. I think that's permanent progression. So attack all the way. I'm a firm believer that the permanent progression is a bait in these games. You want to go as strong as possible to get as far as possible, then you get the most amount of resources as well. But yeah, most of these views are like my friends and family. Of course, you would guess that when you tell like people you know, like your friends who like to make fun of you anyway, you tell them that you're recording YouTube videos with a diving mask on, they usually tend to go and watch them just to laugh at you. And also, well, of course, well, my family is actually been insanely supportive of this weird adventure of mine, I guess. If you look at the first video, like, you would see the comments. Some of them genuinely look like botted comments. I swear to you they are not. It's actually just my family that doesn't speak English that well. I mean, some of them were friends of mine that specifically tried to sound like botted comments. You will also probably see that. Increased bullet damage, not bullet, yeah, sure. I'll go for that. But the rest, I mean, none of them, like all of them are real people with different intentions behind their words, saying with all the love in my heart, of course. Yeah. I'm actually getting quite far for a first run. I don't know how long this game is, or if it's even not infinite, because like Risk of Rain, for instance, before they added like the DLCs and like the big content update, which added like Mitrix and like the final boss of the game, essentially, the game was practically infinite. Like there was no real end. You could go to like zone 80. Like I've gone really far in that game. I think my record's like zone 80 something on Monsoon, like really high up there. Not to brag, of course, even actually this fully to brag. Like, at this point, I probably look so bad at games because of these videos. I need something, man. Just leave me something. Give me power and cooldown reduction, please. Even though cooldown I think is kind of crap because my abilities fell off. Except my R, which I still think is decent. Maybe, even though not really. I think only, funnily enough, my W, which I don't think I even mentioned because it's like a buff. My Q, I think, started making 2 lasers. Is that the case? Yes, okay. And my R, did it start? Yes, started making 5 people. And I am level 15. So every 5 levels they evolve is what I deduce right now. My reduction is based on quite a limited pool of information, but it is what makes sense. Like every 5 levels seems like a good number, so I trust the developers did probably something like that. Okay, Ancient Sentinel, yeah, so I need to hunt down the Ancient Sentinel. Let's see. Increase radius and damage. Don't mind if I do, honestly. Poison Zone is based. Another thing I was wondering, because for instance, this game I personally like. It seems fun so far. I don't know, this video probably get no comments like usual, but in case someone sees it and wants to actually comment it, and or like even got this far into the video, would you want to see like me do a series of any game? Like if I genuinely find a game that is good, let's say like up to this one or better, would you want to see it more than once? Because I personally would unironically give this game another chance, if just to see another character, because I'm curious, like, do the characters, maybe the characters have like even different weapons and stuff, I don't know, like not just the abilities, but maybe they even have like different like QWER, please. I don't know what to call this. I think these are the abilities and the weapons, yeah, are the items I get essentially. Like, would you want to see it again? Because I so far have just been doing one attempt per game, which is what makes sense because the idea of the channel again is to test them and see if they're good. But like, if you don't want to buy it, want to see it again, does it make sense to do another series? Probably at some point I'll try and see how it performs, I guess, but maybe that I'm gonna try this when I have a bit more views, if I have a bit more views at some point, just to see, to have like a frame of comparison, right? Because right now you get like 20 views per video. Like, I don't know, are these just people misclicking it? Do these just depend on like my, I hope, funny thumbnails? I try my hardest. You've probably noticed I pour my heart and soul into these thumbnails. Of course, this is a joke statement, but it's actually true. I do enjoy making them quite a lot. So I mean, yeah, I don't know who is even watching this, if I have to be honest. Sometimes my anxiety tells me it is no one, and it's just like people misclicking, or like still videos popping up to my mom and she just clicking it to give me the view. But I mean, assuming, just for my own like sake, assuming that someone is actually watching this, like I do feel better, like a real YouTuber, if I tell you guys like, please like, comment, like and comment on the video, right? Like, it's what everyone is doing. It does make me feel like an actually real content creator when I do this, which is the point, I think. Yeah, so we're already, I think this is the last zone in the desert, because in the previous one it went up to 1-3, so now we're on 2-3, so it's probably the last area of the desert. I only have also 3 out of 6 mutations, and I don't think I've even seen other ones other than that sword which I skipped. So this doesn't lead me to think that there are likely many more which you can unlock. If it's like Vampire Survivors, you could there unlock other ability, like other items, I guess, in that game. There was also like a million DLCs at the very start, I think. I mean, actually, at the very start, I don't think you could unlock. Could you unlock items at the very start? Or just characters? Or am I tripping? I think it was if you have a character, if you unlock a character and you level them up, you also unlock their item. Was that correct? Or am I slow? I do not remember. It's so long ago. My memory shit. Anyway. Well, moving on. Yeah, I mean, it leads me to believe it may be the case that I can unlock other items in this game. We'll see. Maybe, probably, like, I don't know, I likely will not actually make a series, so I will see, I guess. Maybe I will put like a pinned comment on this video that I will just tell you guys, like, if I at some point do celerity by reducing abilities, I was correct, celerity does reduce ability cooldown times. Thank you for explaining to me, game. This is quite nice of you. Let's see Stolen Blade. I ignored it for too long. Let's see what Stolen Blade does. Stolen Blade is the pinnacle of single target. It just hits one enemy 3 times. That is not necessarily bad, considering that I have to kill a boss every stage. Okay, what was I saying again? Yeah, I may just like leave like a comment, pinned comment at some point in this video if I ever play this game again, just on my own time. I can be like, yeah, I was correct, that is the case, or no, I wasn't. Just for funsies. Yeah, sorry for the cut there. An alarm rang on my phone. You probably see me cutting these videos completely randomly mid-gameplay. This is usually because of an alarm, which I forgot to turn off. That, I mean, I can just leave it in. Now, increase mutation attack speed by and base damage. Sure, let's do that. Yeah, I mean, that is like probably not even relevant. Like, I could probably just leave it in the video how I turn it off, but I don't know. I feel more professional editing and all that. You wouldn't get it. I'm such a good editor, man. It takes me like 5 minutes. I just do like a cut at the start, cut at the end, and then like potentially cut in the middle if I have to like remove like an alarm sound or something. sometimes like you wouldn't get it. Like my editing skills are out of this world. Like call me Mr. Beast with this level of editing. She don't even like. Is Mr. Beast a good example of this? Probably Poison Zone or Range leeching attack. Honestly, might be the lamest way to play this game. Give me Poison Zone, man. Like it's gotten me this far. Like I cannot abandon it. You know what I mean? Like I have to stick with it. Now this is a Poison Zone build. I cannot even say no to it anymore. The only slight, unless I just pick like the strongest things, right? Like maybe I just got insane lucky and pick literally the strongest things. Give me some movement speed. Like this game does seem a bit easy, if I have to be honest. Which is, unless there is like a boss cell mechanic, like in Dead Cells. Again, I'm gonna bring that game up as an example, where every time you win, or actually also another example, say the Spire Ascension mechanic would also be a good example of this. When you win, you get like an escalating difficulty system where you can replay the game with a much higher difficulty. In some games, this is like a slight increase. In others, like for instance in Dead Cells, it's a brutal increase that makes the game it usually takes longer for you to beat it on a higher boss cell than on the previous one. Specifically, Dead Cells took me, I think, like 80 or 90 tries to beat boss cell 2. I don't know if you played that game like that much, but the second boss cell, when you couldn't heal with the flask anymore because like the wells were dry, like it took me an embarrassing amount of time to beat. Let's try the Leeching Seed. Lifesteal sounds, now that I think about it, it's really good. I kind of glanced over the lifesteal part and I was like, why do I even need lifesteal? Or like I'm good, like I healed like regularly somehow. I'm actually not sure how, but increases power. You need power. It's maybe because I stacked so much power that I'm actually getting through the enemies. But yeah, like considering like that usually these games are usually one of two camps. They're either the camp of Rogue Legacy, which by the way the game has absolutely nothing to do with this one. Like it means that again the roguelike, but that's about it. It's completely different gameplay, I guess. But in that game, it's like the first 20 runs you do, you die on like the fifth room. Because the game was built in a way that it's not expecting you to actually beat it at first try. You had to rely on the permanent progression. And you had to rely, movement speed and HP movement speed is really good stuff in these games. You had to rely on the permanent upgrades to make you even statistically strong enough to beat like the bosses and like all the enemies. Other games, if you're good, you could just straight up beat first try. Like for instance, there was this game, what was it called? You played as like a little Grim Reaper character. Not the one I played on this channel, not Paragon of Time. There was another one where it was like a very cute art style roguelike called Kavanai's Death, I think, something like this. This game was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but I beat it first try basically. And I know there was more to unlock after that, but it never feels satisfying to win the game on your first try. Like I mean, if you're really bad at games, maybe it's kind of like it's an ego boost to beat the game on the first try, but if you're looking for a game to play for like a long period of time, beating it first try is never a good example. It's never a good sign, not example. So if I beat this one quickly, then yeah, this does kind of subtract. At least personally for me, I don't know if you're a big difficulty guy, but at least personally for me, it subtracts from the quality of the game. We have entered a new stage, the jungle. Seems to be another environment. The enemies don't seem to, I think they look different. It does seem to come with a few unique enemies, even though their patterns are about the same. You just kind of like walk into them. I don't know. I praise this game a lot. Because it had a really fun concept, and it actually is fun, but there is another, I need to mention this, an underlying problem with it. And it is that at some point, it kinda, I think the best way to describe it is the run is too long. Because at this point, I'm kind of like, I've seen enough of this character. Like, I want to see other characters. But right now, I don't want to just, like, end the run because it feels unsatisfying. Like, it's my first run, I want to see how far I can get. So, I think if the developers are seeing this, or, I mean, they probably not, but if, by some chance, at some point, you see this, maybe, I don't know, I mean, if it's an endless game, I guess this advice doesn't make sense to make the run shorter. But personally, I feel like this game would have done better if it was a bit harder but had 20-minute runs. Kind of like Vampire Survivors, 20 minutes till dawn, so on and so forth. So right now, I'm in this 32-minute run. I'm really strong. Like, I'm genuinely so strong right now. And I just kind of starting to feel like, well, I want to see the other content. Because there's like 12 characters in this game, I think. If there are no like secret characters. So I'm like, okay, if you actually took the time to make the other characters also exciting and like fun to see, I want to see them. Like right now, I am stuck with this guy who I don't think he's like bad. I think this character is quite good. It has like a dash, it has like the summon ability, has the laser. Was quite cool to see at the start, but now I'm like, I've seen enough. These abilities change when they level up, like they get better. Or rather, they get better, but they don't really change. It's like the laser now rotates, but it's still the laser. My W, I think, lasts longer and gives me more stats, but that's about it. My dash, I don't think changed, actually. Or did it? Maybe it did more damage, I'm not sure, actually. Or I think it decreased its cooldown, actually. I think the dash decreased its cooldown. You can go and check what the cooldown was at the start. But I think it did decrease it. And the R just spawns, like, more guys, but... Wait, where am I supposed to go? To the left. Okay. But at the end of the day, it is basically the same abilities. So it's not like, for instance, even Vampire Survivors. I like the latest game so much, but to be fair, I think it's one of the best designed games. Simply because of how simple it is, or was rather at the beginning. I don't know if it's too simple, it has a million DLCs, but it was an insanely simple concept at the start. And it worked so well, just because of how well designed it was. Like, whoever designed this game was a genius, I think. Or, like, there are other similarities as well, like Lethal Company, for instance. Like, this game works so well. It's a completely different type of game, but it's in its very core, simple game designed in an insanely good fashion. And in this game, so far, I actually like the design, but there are these few underlying problems with it. Such as, well, yeah, like, for instance, if you made the abilities, I think I got completely digressed on this point, by the way, but what I meant by this long rant was if the abilities changed in a very significant manner, like, for instance, how they do in Vampire Survivors, where you get Fire Wand which just shoots like an attack in a direction, and then you upgrade and then it shoots like this big meteor that can at some point even bounce off of the edge of the screen, I think, or something like that. Not all of them changed significantly, but most of them changed in a pretty big fashion. Like, you can see like a really big upgrade. If you do that in this game, it kind of like would feel like you still have more to see. Like, if you made the laser take on cool patterns, for instance, instead of just getting that rotating beam, then, which by the way, I think the rotating is really good actually. But if you made it get like cool patterns, I think I'm actually gonna die with a 90 health. I just said how easy the game was, and I just got humbled in the first jungle stage. If I get humbled in the first jungle stage, I completely scratched what I just said about the difficulty of the game. But yeah, I mean, if you made it make like a cool like pattern or shape, or like or apply some new effect, or even change completely entirely, then it would feel like, oh, I want to level up more, I want this run to continue because I haven't seen all that this character has to offer. But right now I know, well, okay, I'll reach level 40 and then I'll just have more lasers. Is that the problem? No, I think it's strong, but there isn't that like curiosity, there isn't like the lack of knowledge that would make me really excited about seeing what comes next, if that makes sense. I don't know if people have that, maybe it's just me, but I personally really like not knowing what will happen later into the game. It makes me excited about, well, it makes me excited to continue, is I guess what I mean to say. So I think this is probably the only thing so far that this game is missing for me. I'm not sure actually if it's early access. It might be, unironically. I am not sure. I think I might have read early access. I have to check, or you can also check, but if it came out recently in any case, because I found it on like the Steam recently released page. I think it came out actually maybe even today or yesterday, like really recently. If it is the case, I mean, if they have like still much more to develop, like this game, you might be looking at like something that will become pretty good. Let me just say that the fact that 2 people have played this game or like commented is a crime. This game should have at least some recognition. It's much higher quality than some of the other garbage that I've played on this channel with two views. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do big arm. Big arm. Let's go. I think I reached the max expectations, by the way. Also, it's a big melee strike. Like this game deserves way more than that. Like even like it does. I don't think it deserves like Vampire Survival Zero fame. Like this game is still leagues above this one, but it's a crime because the same amount of players basically as like Paragon of Time, I think. Also, another thing which at this point it's even funny that I have to mention, I think, I don't see these games having AI generated aspects, which I have seen in many other previous games. Now, I say this in basically every video. I have my own opinions about the use of AI. I don't know if you share them. I'm not gonna share them because I want you to make like that. I mean, to keep this as objective as possible, even though of course I failed to do that pretty royally. But I think the use of AI, to the very least, I'll say this, has to be good. Because some of these games just it's obvious how they just want to generate an image and they cannot draw like whoever made the game, and they're too lazy to make it in another way, or they don't want to pay to someone to make it for them, so they just tell Midjourney bot or ChatGPT, hey, can you please generate me an image of this, and then I literally I've used these AIs myself, of course. I've seen how they work, so it's like you can very clearly spot, like sometimes even by which program it was made. Here is the Jungle Zealot, by which program it was made, and then it just kind of feels cheap because you're like, okay, like this kind of, maybe in 10 years it won't be a problem, but right now it tells you about the quality of whatever you're getting into, because if you could not find a real artist to make, or you're not a real artist yourself, or you take the time to do it yourself, to make the assets for your game, and you just told ChatGPT to do it for you, it kind of is a bearer of bad news for what's to come, because they're like, okay, if you did that by AI, then you were probably too lazy to do 5 other things that should have been there for the game to be fine. So for me, just I'll keep spamming the Poison Zone. Like Poison Zone is like my pride and joy. It's my my reason to continue this run. I think it's so big at this point. I'll pick it up every time it shows up. But yeah, it's just a bearer of bad news. And this game, I haven't seen it use something that's at least obvious AI. If it did, at least it did it like good. At least it did it on high enough quality for me not to notice, which, like this in and of itself, I think it doesn't use AI, but of course you can never be sure. But it's simply like, it rubs me the right way. Like I'm like, okay, someone actually took the time to make everything that I see in this game. And it shows. It really is. It's a good game. Like honestly, it's a real 5 out of 10. But like a real 5 out of 10, you know, like based on all games, I think. Not like a game reviewer or a movie critique 5 out of 10 where a bad piece is 7 out of 10 and a good one is a 9 out of 10. Like a real 5 out of 10, where a 1 out of 10 is a garbage, which you cannot, like, it's just a bad game. Like, a 1 out of 10 is a game that would get like a 6 on a game reviewer website, and a good game is like a 10 basically, is a game that would get a 9, because for some reason these people have a no game is perfect, so we have to not give anything 10. That's stupid, in my opinion. Like, what's your frame of reference? Then just remove the 10 as an option. That's personal opinion, but yeah, this game is a real 5, where 5 is an average game. Like, it's the average game compared to all other games, and 5 is, I would describe it as playable. You can get this and play it, and you would not want to quit playing it immediately. I don't know how good it gets. I don't know whether there are really creative characters and like really cool upgrades and stuff like that. In this case, it's might be to 6 or even a 7, but so far from what I've seen, with its problems and upsides, it's a solid 5, I think, which already is up there with the games that I've played on this channel, like up there in terms of quality. My damage is falling off. Let's talk about this now. I stopped doing damage to the bosses. To enemies, Poison Aura is still carrying, but to bosses, I am falling off. Oh, I'm 14 HP. Will this be the end of the run? Will I get humbled? Or will we be able to at least see the next area? I'm speaking like a movie, a promoter. Like, these guys go like, "Whoa, will the character now succeed or no?" Or like, I don't know, like, actually, who does that? Now I'm bringing. Oh, okay. I got killed. Let's see. Which was why
I am
overall poison. Holy. So my poison aura was. So my strongest weapon was Veggie Gun, which was doing 830,000 damage. Poison did 5,500,000 damage. I mean, to be fair, Veggie Gun was also poisoning, but whew, poison was so good. Well, yeah. Let's see. Wait, Fiendonomical. Yeah, these are the permanent upgrades. So. You have... Oh yeah, you have a lot of weapons. You can unlock like so many. Okay. Yeah. Honestly then, if it has like this many items, and here you can unlock the characters. Yeah, okay. If you were curious, these are the starting characters. You can... Yeah, you can check them out if you want for yourself in this game, but... Honestly, positively surprised. Really positively surprised. First really positive surprise on this game. After the previous few ones, I lost hope. This one made me kind of return it. It's decent. Between Trash and Treasure, definitely